So I just wanted to kind of expand on what I spoke about last month with trees that require maintenance. And it's not really sexy. Planting trees is sexy. Another part of trees that we're missing the boat on is the tree inventory. And currently the inventory is done from a satellite. And as an arborist, I commonly meet with clients and we stand at the base of the tree and we look up. And we can develop a work order with the number of dollars and the amount of time that it would take to perform the services to upgrade the tree. This commonly extends the lifespan of the tree by 100%. It doubles the lifespan of the tree to prune it early in its life. So if the Parks Department wants to save money, prune your trees while they're young. You cannot do that with 6 arborists with 1.5 million trees. But if you were to look at the urban forest stewardship plan that was passed last month, you would see that the estimate of trees ranges from 1.5 million to 3 million trees. In other words, we haven't done a tree inventory. We do not know how many trees we have, and we do not know what kind of shape they're in. So I think that the Parks Department really can also save money by doing things differently. They can record what they do to trees, and they can refer to that list in a database, which is not currently happening. We have asked for the records of which trees have removed, and we've been continually reassured that those records are available, but they are not available. So I think we need to work smarter. And we need to work earlier on our trees. So, and then the other thing is, earlier you heard that Kubota Garden is in Renton. And it is not in Renton. It's in Seattle. It is a Seattle City Park. It's 20 acres. It was purchased by the city in 1987, and it does not have a drinking fountain, and it does not have a bathroom, and it's all downhill to enter Kubota Garden. So for you guys to continue to omit putting a drinking fountain and a bathroom in Kubota Garden makes me extremely dubious about the effectiveness of this process. So thank you very much.
I'm Joy Okazaki, I'm the president of the Kubota Garden Foundation, in other capacities, but I have that hat on tonight. The Kubota Garden Foundation has a 24-year partnership with the Parks Department. The City of Seattle owns the garden, obviously, and the foundation supports the garden through fundraising, project development, events and scheduling tours, and through a volunteer program. The Kubota Garden is not just a park, it is a garden. If you look at TripAdvisor, it'll say peaceful, serene, tranquil, neighborhood oasis. These are just a few of the words that are used to describe Kubota Garden. Maintenance for the garden has been underinvested for a long time, with less than 3 FTEs to maintain 20 acres of garden, which is in the Rainier Beach neighborhood. And since the Parks Department has gone through the process of acquiring additional open space, we've got about 27 additional acres of open space, which is now the Kubota Gardens Natural Area, which Michael's very intimately involved in. The foundation has supplemented the garden staff with nearly 6,000 volunteer hours in just 2012 alone, and I already know that we will surpass that, and it's only September. Despite being staffed minimally, according to TripAdvisor, it is this number 16 of 198 attractions in Seattle, not far behind Washington Park's Arboretum at number 14. The garden's estimated 50,000 visitors come from all corners of the world, in addition to the fortunate handful that live in the Rainier Beach neighborhood of Southeast Seattle. While the foundation's been effective in funding, designing, building major capital projects like the Tom Kubota Stroll Garden in 2000 and the Tsutakawa entry gate and the ornamental wall in 2004, no capital improvements or major maintenance funds have been allocated to the garden since the ProParks improvements that were formalizing the entry sequence, and that was in 2004. In 2012, the foundation worked with Parks to agree on a strategic plan. We identified the things that weren't done in the 1990 master plan, and we've tried to prioritize those things with Parks and tried to work out solutions for both. There's a couple of projects that we went after a ProParks grant for, $750,000 grant for in 2010. It didn't make the cut. It was basic things like paving a parking lot and expanding it to the right demand to 60 spaces instead of 38. The other was just a completed ADA path through the garden. And just to do that, it would require rock clearing and regrading. So it's our hope that the city can capitalize on the improving economy and restore adequate funding for the garden maintenance. You know, you guys called it essential services, and we know that you're doing essential services. It's kind of that little bit of icing on that, and we're hoping that you can start to look at some of the major maintenance projects that have been deferred. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Brooke Howell.